Hello. Welcome to the Writer's Block. Hi, I'm Nathan Devine. I teach senior English courses at Jackson Prep. I think my childhood was pretty conventional in the sense that I grew up in Madison and Jackson, so the landscape may have changed, but socially it was pretty much like y'all's childhoods. I think maybe the thing that's the most interesting to me is I think about the days that my parents would chase me out of the house and how we stayed outside from dark till dark, like riding bikes. Like I remember being born in Madison, and yet on a Saturday, I would be on Lakeland Drive on my bike. And I don't think y'all have been allowed that kind of freedom, especially with a group of friends. So it was like the Goonies, if you know that movie. It was like we just took off on bikes, and that's what I remember about being between like 7 and 12, was just running crazy with other kids on bikes around Jackson, Madison, and Ridgeland. So my mom and dad were together, but I never remember them being together because they got divorced when I was 5. So I remember growing up in 2 separate households, and they both remarried several years later. But it was an interesting experience having a mother and a father that didn't really relate to each other as much as they related to me. And then I saw them relate to other people that were step-parents. So that was interesting. I went to MRA. My mom enrolled me in MRA when I was in 5-year-old kindergarten, and I stayed there all the way through. So I remember that campus, even though today it's completely changed. It was actually fun until around the 9th or 10th grade when we had like a change in administration and it felt like the entire tenor of the school shifted. We considered Jackson Prep to be our rivals, but at that time, I don't think y'all considered us to be a rival. So when I student taught here and when I came to work here, the joke that people presented me with were like, oh, you're a traitor, you're coming to the other Patriots. So we had the same mascot. And I was like, I'm actually just coming to the real Patriots. And now I can make fun of MRA, and when y'all play them, I root for them to lose. So I remember the first thing that I really got into in school was band, because we had tryouts for band in the 5th grade. And I remember my band instructor was named Mr. Pitts. And I remember going into a like blue-lined room. There was carpet on the walls because it abutted other classrooms and they didn't want it to be noisy. But I remember going into a blue carpeted room and he would say, what instrument you want to play, kid? And I would say, I want to play the saxophone. And so he gave me a saxophone and I would like try to blow on the reed and it didn't work. I was mostly trombone and baritone. But that was maybe my most extensive involvement in school. I was kind of a nerd, if you can believe that. The only sport that I did was I ran track for 2 years. I ran the 2-mile. I'm not sure I was that great at it. I wish I could have played basketball. So I had an interest, but I was not good. No, I did not always want to be a teacher. I always wanted to be, growing up, an oceanographer because I thought I loved going to the beach. I loved the ocean. I liked kind of being out by myself and doing my own thing. So I thought the best job in the world would be if I had a boat and somebody sent me out on the ocean and said, make a map of this part of the ocean. I thought that would be the coolest job. And so I thought for the longest time I was going to be an oceanographer with a boat and just be like a scientist. So I was biology pre-med until right after I had to take organic chemistry. And I had always taken English classes as like electives, and they were easy and they were fun, and I did well in them. And so I just ended up flip-flopping those two. Dr. Michael Travers taught in the English department at MC, and he was the first person that told me, hey, you're actually pretty good at this. Like, have you thought about doing this? This could turn into something. Have you thought about teaching? And up until that point, I'd never thought that I would do that. That's a nice delivery.
Nice. What is your favorite Taylor Swift album?
This is hard. This is the hard part. And it's hard because I have to talk about Taylor, who ran off and married another man. She'll come back. She'll come back. Probably Red or Reputation, which I know is a controversial answer, but people slight that album and it's awesome. So I'm gonna do the tie, Red or Reputation. I don't really have a favorite song.
I like Getaway Car.
One of the things she does better than anybody else is she's a great business person. So it's like her curating her fans and like having ciphers and numbers and they're just pouring over everything, waiting for the next little thing to drop. That's brilliant.
But I don't think it sounds as good. Like,
What?
we
Oh,
are
the
never getting
remaster?
back to- Yes.
Well, I mean, you have the other album. She just can't make the profits off of it.
Oh, well, she won't.
And-
And then how did you start meditating?
So maybe y'all can sympathize. I started meditating because I was an extremely stressed human being. And yet I did not recognize that I was stressed. And when somebody started talking to me about the physiological feelings of stress, and I was like, oh, I have that. Oh, I do that. Oh, I kind of don't sleep like that. It was like I was checking every single box. And it was phenomenal to me that so much was happening to my body and my mind that I was simultaneously not aware of. So that phenomenon made me interested in it. That, oh, this would make me more aware. This would make me more of kind of a self-monitor of what's going on. But as soon as I started doing it, I found it had incredible positive attributes in nearly everything that I did. It gives you a kind of separation between you and your thoughts and your feelings so that you're not enslaved to them all the time. I can have a thought instead of being lost in thought. I can have a feeling and kind of lightly know that it'll pass if it's bad, or if it's good, I can be appreciative for it while it's still here. So it's a lot of good self-care with a rather easy routine. So I sit and meditate for 20 minutes every morning and 20 minutes every night. Sometimes I'll do it a little bit longer. And I like going on retreats where I've got a month to just do that. I wake up between 4:45 and 5. I get ready pretty early. I'm usually here by around 6:30 because I can work fast and work well really early in the morning. And I figured that out in college. So I get here and I'm able to work. And then when y'all show up, I can just kind of play. And then after school, I usually run some errands. I go home. I have to check on the cats because they always need something. I probably watch some Netflix, cook some dinner. I'm probably in bed by 10 at the latest since I'm getting up at 4:45 or 5.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. I actually drink coffee here because it's available, not because I like it. So when I leave, it is kind of bad. It's kind of bad. When I leave in the summer, I never touch coffee. Last year when I taught 10 honors, I used to brew a lot of tea. I don't know why I don't brew tea with y'all. Maybe it's something about the atmosphere of the class. It could be. I mean, I tend to have more people in classes with y'all this year than I had with the 10 honors. So maybe it was more leisurely for me to come in with a tea bag and just sit with them. But with y'all, if you're in early, I probably have coffee, and then I just drink water.
Ooh, how do you feel about the new junior high?
The lower school?
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, it'll be, in a way, this is not news to y'all. Prep can be a hard place. Like, it can be a intense place. And having a playground out there with little kids that are coming through, that'll soften us in nice ways.
It may actually make me want to run over them.
No.
I think I'd actually just be like, you know what? Let me just like save you now.
But I think having a space down there with smaller kids that are part of the fabric of the campus, I think that would be nice for us. It might take some of our hard edges off.
Do you ever see yourself like stepping away from like senior English and going to like?
I could. I mean, when I first got here, I taught 10th and 12th, and I enjoyed teaching sophomores. The lowest I've taught is 9th grade. I didn't particularly enjoy that.
You would scare me to death as like a freshman.
Yes, it'd be way easier.
Now I've developed the demeanor of being a senior English teacher, though.
You have.
So if I taught 9th grade, they would be kind of scared. This is Nathan Devine, and you're watching JPTV. That was good.